Hi, I'm Karina, and I did something that's still hard for me to talk about.
Hi, I'm Kiera, and I do things that are hard for me to talk about all of the time. What's up, for example? It's almost February. The Christmas tree is still there. I also have one in my living room. I have nowhere to put them. Anyway, what's up? Today we're watching a true story animation video called My Shameful Act Got Caught on a Hidden Camera with a rather disturbing thumbnail. I want to know what's happening. I'm sure you do too, so subscribe. Haha. Okay, let's go.
Have you ever tried to take the easy way out to get out of trouble?
Yes.
In my case, I took it to the extreme, and it blew up in my face. I used to babysit for the family down the street. They had a 4-month-old, Emma, and a toddler, Jace. I always felt a little nervous about babysitting, but the first couple of times went pretty well.
Honestly, it's probably because babies are weird. People who like babies, I don't trust you. I don't really want to be your friend either. Like the video if you think babies are creepy.
Emma was a good baby, and Jace, well, Jace was wild.
Jace was for the streets.
We got along okay. The parents had warned me that Jace was in a stage where he was hitting and throwing things at people, and that I should tell them if he ever got out of hand. One day, I left Emma on the changing table, just for a second, I swear. Well, I turned around to get baby powder. I heard the most awful thud, and when I turned around, Emma was on the floor.
I'm no baby expert. I don't know anything about this, but isn't that the one thing they tell you not to do? By they, I mean like the sign on every baby changing table ever. Like, never leave it unassisted, ever. I hope you're fired.
I've never been so scared in my entire life. Emma wasn't crying, just laying there.
So she's dead.
She moved her arm.
Oh, okay.
So I could tell she was still conscious, but all I could think was that maybe I'd brain damaged her. Maybe she had an internal injury. I was terrified. She did start to cry then. I picked her up as carefully as I could and rocked her and whispered to her. I started to cry too.
So you're not gonna like call an ambulance or like maybe take it to the hospital or something? You're just gonna shake it a little bit and cry? Babies are too much work. All of the feeding it, buying it clothes, changing it, not to mention keeping it alive just in general.
Finally, she quieted down, and I looked her over. At first, I was relieved. No visible injuries.
Oh yes, you can really see internal bleeding. Why am I so bitter?
Then I turned her over and saw a large bruise on her tiny head. I panicked again. How would I explain this to her parents? They'd kill me. I thought about calling my mom. She'd know what to do. But what if she blamed me? What if I got in huge trouble? Could I get arrested for this?
This is honestly the single most selfish thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like, as much as I don't love babies, I wouldn't like want one to like perish instead of me maybe getting yelled at. Like what? This is sociopathic behavior.
Jace toddled in. He started babbling at me. He didn't say a lot of actual words yet, just dada and stuff, and trying to hit me with a foam sword from his toy box. I was already so stressed about Emma, I couldn't handle Jace's wildness.
Let me guess. She's gonna blame it on Jace, and then it's gonna get caught on camera, and then they're gonna be like, you lied. What about it? That's my prediction. I don't know, I like to predict them.
But then, I got an idea.
Okay.
When the parents came home, I was ready. I showed them Emma's bruise and told them I was so sorry, but that while Emma was in her swing seat, Jace had hit her with one of his toy trucks. The mom looked shocked. Hard enough to bruise? Did he mean to? I don't know, I said. My back was only turned for a second, but the dad started looking Emma over. I think she's okay, I said. She cried a little after he did it, then quieted down. We'll get the pediatrician to look at her tomorrow, he said. The mom glanced at her husband and then back at me. We've been worried about this. We think Jace might have some issues with his development. We kept hoping he'd grow out of it.
Not gonna lie, I don't think Jace is the issue here. I think it is... What's her name? Emma? No, it's the baby's name. I don't even remember because she sucks. I don't think Jace is the problem. Jace just has a wild personality. Honestly, Jace probably is weird with you because he can sense that you're, like, evil. Like, what? Anyway.
We've never known him to be violent towards his sister, though. I was scared they'd suspect I was making it up, so I went on. He's done it a few times, I lied. Sometimes he'll come up to her and try to hit her for no reason. And sometimes he just stares at her. I can't explain, but it's creepy. And one time I asked him if he liked his sister, and he yelled, "No!" All of this was just pouring out of me.
What is wrong with her? All she had to do was, like, the one lie. I mean, she didn't have to do that. That was unnecessary. But, like, yeah, you probably would have lost your job. I don't think that they would have killed you for bruising the child a little. If anything, you could say that she just, like, hit it. Like, you do not have... Like, why are you gonna ruin this poor little kid's life over a freaking bruise? These true story animations get me so worked up sometimes, and I don't know why. I need to just chill.
My only thought was that I had to make sure they 100% believed Jace was guilty, not me. Why didn't you say something before? The dad sounded horrified. I didn't know if it was normal for toddlers or not. I mean, you said he's in a stage where he hits people. But he's always been so good with Emma. The mother looked truly scared. We'll have to get him into therapy. Thank you for telling us the truth, Karina, the dad said. I left the house shaking. I had lied to them. Now, Jace was going to have to go to therapy, and he hadn't even done anything. They would have taken him anyway, I tried to tell myself. They were already worried about him.
I am bewildered. I truly am. Also, her name's Karina. Firstly, that's just not a real name. Simply, we do not listen to anyone called Karina here. It also sounds weirdly close to Kiera, and yeah, my individuality complex can't handle that. I don't know. I hope you guys are on the same page as me, as she's literally so messed up. Like, Jace isn't the issue here. I don't know, if we're like-minded individuals, maybe you would like to subscribe, because I'm really close to 4 million subscribers. It's been a minute since I hit 3 million because I kind of suck, so that would be really nice. Haha.
I couldn't escape the guilt. It gnawed at me for days. I could barely eat or sleep. I don't think I can explain how I felt. The next time they asked me to babysit, I pretended I was busy. The next time too. My mom finally confronted me. Why haven't you been taking babysitting jobs? I'm too busy with school, I replied. I saw your midterm grades. For someone who's so busy with school, your grades are dropping. Is something wrong? No, I snapped at her. Just stay out of my business. The next day in school, I threw up. I hadn't seen it coming. 1 minute, I was a little queasy. The next, I was running to the bathroom. I kept seeing that awful bruise on Emma's head. I finally took another babysitting gig to get my mom off my back. When the parents came home, I said Jace had tried to hit Emma again, but I'd stopped him. I can't explain why I lied again.
I can't either. Why does she keep doing this? What actually did Jace do to her? Nothing. Nothing!
The more I added to the story, the more it seemed true in my mind. Jace hadn't tried to hit Emma, but he was always trying to hit me with his toys. And wasn't that bad enough? He probably would hit Emma if she was closer in proximity to him. When I babysat again a few weeks later, I made up a story where Jace had brought rocks in from the outside and tried to throw them at his sister. So Karina, the mother said, we were thinking about putting Jace on medication for ADHD since it seems like the therapy is not making him any better. Without thinking, I immediately agreed.
Wait, so they've never seen this behavior from him ever? They're taking the advice of like a 15-year-old who is completely sadistic, psychotic, messed up. These are the worst parents ever.
Instead of looking worried, like they had in the past, the parents looked suspicious. Come into the kitchen, Karina, the mom said. I want to talk to you. I followed her into the kitchen, my heart pounding. She gave a deep sigh. My husband and I were shocked by what you told us about Jace, so we got a nanny cam. It's in that teddy bear on the mantle. My breathing got shallow as panic rose in me. Karina, she said, Jace never went outside and got rocks. You and Emma were here the whole time until she went to bed. Jace never tried to hurt her. I nearly burst into sobs as all the guilt and shame and fear of the past few weeks hit me at once.
Well, you can't give up the lie now. You've been doing it for way too long, so... I don't know where this is gonna go. I was right. Firstly, my prediction was right. But where does it go now?
But some part of me was defensive too. The part that had started to believe my own stories. That Jace was dangerous, out of control. He did go outside, I tried to tell her. He was... Karina, I want you to tell me honestly. Her eyes were wet with tears.
I can't really lie myself because I get stuck in a spiral of lies and then I start to believe them. So I just try to not lie, just in general. I have issues too. Subscribe.
Her voice was firm. Has Jace been trying to hurt Emma? I wanted to tell another lie. It would feel good to tell another one. Yes, I said. I'm being honest. The father got his phone out and showed me the tape. He said that they kept an eye on Jace for the whole day, and they know for a fact that he didn't do anything. I froze. I couldn't reply. They kept asking me why I was lying, and I simply had no answer. I just enjoyed it. I don't remember exactly what happened after that. I ended up at home, and the next day I stayed in bed.
She enjoyed it? I thought she was just lying to get out of being in trouble, like she was just scared of being reprimanded. I didn't think she was actually enjoying potentially medicating a child and getting him in therapy. This is messed up.
My mom kept telling me that everything would be all right, that the neighbors knew Emma's fall had been an accident. But I could feel that my mom was treating me differently. And a few days later, she said she wanted me to see a counselor.
Yeah, I could see that.
You think I'm crazy? I burst out. No, honey, I don't. But I just want you to talk to her. I did go. The counselor and I discussed pathological lying and how the blurring of reality and fantasy, the sense that it would feel good to lie, could signify pathological tendencies in me. It sounded so horrible. But I've continued to go to counseling, and I'm getting better at recognizing those tendencies.
I mean, I've been saying she has problems.
I wrote a letter of apology to the neighbors, but they still haven't responded. There are days when all I can do is close my eyes and dig my nails into my palms and wish I'd never told that first lie. My mom says I may have to live with the guilt for a while. It's hard, but I know the fact that I feel guilty at all is a good sign.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, pee-pee-poo-poo, am I right? I have nothing to say, really. I find it kind of ironic that she almost got the kid put in therapy, ended up in therapy herself. She has problems. Stay away from her. What's her name? Karina again? I don't even remember. Let me know down below what you thought about this and if I should keep reacting to true story animations. I'm gonna go film an Among Us video. Subscribe to my gaming channel too. Bye!